I want to start, gentlemen, with the obvious question. What do you do at Leonardo Electronics?
Yeah, so Leonardo is a fairly large company. We make semiconductor laser diodes. And the facility in Tucson, we have basically all of the operations, including design, engineering, as well as manufacturing in the one facility in Tucson. And so we serve a lot of different markets, including defense, medical, industrial, and a new market, which is automotive as well. So.
You're doing something unique in the world, is that correct, Prabhu?
It is. And the work that we do in Tucson, I don't think there are many companies in the world that actually do what we do. Maybe a couple of them, right? So it's fairly unique.
Let's talk about who your customers are. Who's buying your products?
So we sell product around the world. In the defense market, primarily is U.S. based, although we do defense work outside of the U.S. In the medical, primarily our customers tend to be outside the U.S., although a lot of end product ends up coming back into the U.S. In the industrial side, it's U.S. and outside. Most of it is to do metal processing with lasers. I'm sure most of you have heard of that. On the automotive side, again, it's a fairly new market with a lot of autonomous vehicles needing all of these new sensors. And we make laser-based sensors for the automotive market.
Fascinating. And to tie it together a little bit, remember that Tucson is home to TuSimple, which is developing the automated truck service that they've made a run from Tucson to Phoenix, I read recently. So you operate now from a facility along I-10 in Marana. Why look elsewhere, Graham?
Well, we've been there for 20 years. The world has changed in the last 20 years. We've grown double-digit figures in terms of revenue, and essentially we're running out of space. So we searched all over. We had a couple of criteria. We didn't want to be too far from there because we have a workforce that we need to try and keep, and so there was a motivation to stay relatively close there. But ultimately, we needed to move. So the idea was to go build a custom facility.
And you're bringing a custom facility worth $100 million or so to Oro Valley, and it's great to have you coming. Let's talk about your selection process. How did you come to select Oro Valley compared with the many choices you had?
Okay, so we looked at about 12 sites. We had to find something that, as I said, was relatively close. We definitely wanted something where we could attract workforce, so that we could attract workforce and sustain workforce over the longer term. So that really meant it had to be an established community, and Oro Valley clearly provides that. So something that we could be part of. And the other thing which was huge for us was really Paul and Mary and the town team making it easy for us to come here. So they've been fantastic in terms of facilitating moving to the area and fast-tracking things like plans and permitting and guiding us through that process as we move through the design phase. So that's been instrumental, and obviously the financial incentives that come with that, which I think Paul will talk about in a minute.
Well, that's a great segue. Paul, let's talk about what incentives the town of Oro Valley has provided to attract Leonardo Electronics.
So the primary incentives that we have offered are the reimbursement of the improvements of Vistoso Park Road. That'll become a public improvement because it'll help enhance the mobility around the entire park. So we've also offered reduced permitting and review fees, but also, as Graham mentioned, expedited reviews. I think that time savings is a lot more important sometimes than even the cost and reductions. We will be reducing all the impact fees, waiving all of those that are pertinent to the project, and then we've capped the public art contribution at $125,000.
Let's talk a little bit more, gentlemen, about why Oro Valley. Does it matter about schools, views, proximity to somebody like Roche? Are those factors in your decision making?
Let me take the first part. Yeah, I think the other part is the site in Innovation Park is remarkable by any standards, and we are at the stage in the project where preliminary design is done, and we're really proud to have a design architect partner, Smith Group from Phoenix, and Sun Construction from here in Tucson, and they've done a remarkable job of orienting the facility, the building, the structure, one, to take advantage of the views, but also to maximize efficient use of sunlight without actually overly constraining and heating the office and manufacturing space. So it's a wonderful environment. It will tie into the trail system. We have a huge number of cyclists and hikers who are going to have that right on the doorstep. So it's fabulous.
Great. Probably, what about the proximity to a bioscience company like Roche, for example?
I think having the high-tech companies around what we do, it was important. I think that was part of the criteria that went into selecting the site in Oro Valley. We do different things, but having that high-tech umbrella and having that opportunity to be part of that community was important.
Great. Yeah. Gentlemen, how many people will you employ? Where do you find talent? And what are the skill sets that you need?
Yeah, very good question. Today we are about 200 people in our facility in Marana. We will basically double when we move to Oro Valley in the next 5 to 10 years. So we'll be adding about 175 new jobs, in the new facility. Our requirements span the entire gamut of administrative staff all the way down to manufacturing staff, with engineers doing a lot of the design work. We need to tap into the community for a lot of the manufacturing employees, and that's been fairly good source for getting employees with that skill. In the engineering, we work with the universities. We have some premium universities in Arizona. We have an internship program that attracts a lot of engineers that go to college in the local universities. That has been a really good program for us to foster new employees. And we also work with Pima Community College. I think we have an apprenticeship program that we started fairly recently. I think Leonardo was probably the first one to push some people through there. So it is an investment in the community for us to be able to get the talent that we need. And certainly these are all high-tech, high-paying jobs, and that certainly helps the community as well.
There you go. So it sounds like you've got strong relationships with these educational institutions. Is that fair to say?
It is absolutely correct, and we need to have that interaction with the local community and the universities to be able to get that talent.
Thank you. And editorial comment, that means we need to invest in higher education. Just saying, by golly. Gentlemen, let's talk about a timetable for the development of the project, Graham.
This is not like building a retail space. The fact that we design and produce semiconductors means we have to do it in a very clean environment. So the actual physical structure of the building demands very, very specialized air conditioning, specialized piping, and so on and so forth. So the complexity to actually get the design done takes some time. But we envisage that we will be here, located, producing, and generating new jobs as early as possible in 2025.
2025. Can't wait for that. Paul, the town of Oro Valley has just created and released, or about to release, a new economic development website. You've provided us a video clip about it. Please walk us through and tell us what we're looking at.
What you're looking at is a viewable website for economic development focused on 3 platforms, so you can view it anywhere that you need to in terms of site selectors or businesses. Our primary focus for this website was to make the site selection process and choosing Oro Valley as easy as possible, so we called it Choose Oro Valley. What we're looking here, the first goal we had was to make sure that site selectors had the quickest access to information. So on the landing page, everything that a site selector needs is clickable one click away. So for example, there are available sites, incentives, workforce development and training information, and other demographic information relative to the community. The second goal was, once we are able to attract primary employers like Leonardo and other businesses to Oro Valley, is we want them to understand how quickly we can get them up into operating mode. We know that speed to business is very important, so we want to make sure those businesses have access to all the information they need, specifically how to get those permits and approvals necessary to get construction started, how they go about getting the other information and support from the town. We have a very robust business retention and expansion program, so we want all the businesses to understand that once you've submitted a site plan, you've chosen Oro Valley, through the end, when we issue that C of O and you're ready to start business, that the town is there. We're really ready to support whatever those businesses need.
Thank you, Paul. I know you didn't do this exactly by yourself.
Yep.
You had some help.
Yeah, thank you, Dave. I really wanted to extend some thanks. The communications team at the town of Oro Valley was amazing throughout this process. Misty Nowak is their leader. Nick Going is in the audience. He's the one gentleman who's been taking pictures of everybody. We're working that out so that we can share that with everybody after the event is over. We also had Pia Salonga from their team, and Margie Adler is the economic development specialist for the town. So that was our economic development team, and it turned out to be the website development team for this project.
Great. Gentlemen, is that website going to be of value to you as you bring your campus to Oro Valley?
Definitely. I mean, I think we hope to attract, as Prabhu said, a number of new jobs. Any information that's available real time for anybody new coming to the community is going to be valuable. So absolutely.
Super. Last question. These people want to be supportive of you, and the question for me becomes, what can all of us do, what can the community do to ensure your success?
Okay, well, I think there's 2 things to that, and back to what Paul said. So we're experts in lasers, we're not experts in construction or construction management or permitting. So we need all the help we can get to be guided through that process and to be guided through that process expeditiously. So thanks so far for everything you guys have done. Please keep on holding your hand through that, through the process. And then the second thing really is for the rest of the business community here is, help raise the brand awareness of Leonardo. I invite you all, just go look us up on the web, Leonardo Electronics Inc., and find out what we do. Look for yourself, but we want to really be integrated into the community. We want to help the community to also attract other investment in. So if there are ways that we can do that, if there are ways that we can integrate with some of the high school education systems, perhaps sponsor some events, we're happy to engage in all those things. But we want to be part of the community, and we'd love every bit of help we can to raise our brand awareness here.
Super. We're so excited to have you coming. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Prabhu Thiagarajan, Graham Kramer, and Paul Melcher. How about a round of applause for our new forthcoming residents?
Dave, thank you so much.
Prabhu, thank you.